Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicleknight channel. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get Pokemon TCG code cards. Are you looking to complete your card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. And please remember to use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Please enjoy the discount and your purchase directly supports the content I create in this channel. Thank you guys so much for your support and for your supporting PTCGO. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at Reuniclus and CROBAT from the Silver Tempest expansion set. So the whole strategy for this build is to build up a lot of damage counter with the help of Reuniclus and then deal the finishing blow with CROBAT so that we can get multiple prizes for just a single knockout. So let's take a look. Reuniclus is a stage 2 Pokemon with 120 HP, it has 2 retreat cost, minus 30 resistance to fighting, and it is weak to dark. It has the ability Persistent Cells. If this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, you put it into your hand instead of the discard pile. And all other attached cards will be discarded. With this ability, you don't really need to worry about recovery cards as much as long as this Pokemon is not knocked out by any other means. So as long as you can set up a multiple line of Reuniclus in your bench, you can technically continue to attack with one every turn. It has the attack Self Fork. For 2 colorless energy, this attack deals 60 damage, and then you choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and then you can put 3 damage counters on each of them. That's a total of 120 damage spread out to your opponent's Pokemon. And Reuniclus combos well with CROBAT, more for its attack Critical Bite. For 3 colorless energy, this attack deals 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So you can technically target any of your opponent's Pokemon anywhere on the board. And if you happen to knock out a Pokemon with this attack, here's the selling point. You can take 2 more prizes, so taking multiple prizes for a single knockout is what's gonna win us games with this deck. And with the help of Radiant Alakazam, we can use its ability Painful Spoons. You can move up to 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another one of their Pokemon. The ability to control your opponent's damage counters makes a real big difference in the strategy of this build. So now you can eat up your opponent's Pokemon with forks and spoons.
Nice.
It is true that Reuniclus doesn't deal that much damage, so just in case your opponent uses a lot of Pokemon Vs in their deck which has a lot of HP, I've included a copy of Empoleon V, and what we're going to do is combo this with the new Earthen Sealstone tool card. What this card does is that it gives your Pokemon V the VSTAR power attack, Star Gravity. For 3 colorless energy, this attack reduces the HP of all of your opponent's Pokemon V down to just 100 HP. That will make it more manageable for Reuniclus and CROBAT to knock out. And not only that, Empoleon V also has the ability Emperor's Eyes, which disables the abilities of basic Pokemon with no rule box on them. And of course, it also has the attack Swirling Slice. For 1 water and 2 colorless energy, it deals 130 damage, and then you have to move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. And to help energize our attacks, I have a full set of Twin Energies, 3 Double Turbo Energies, 2 Capture Energies will also help us set up our basic Pokemon on our bench, and I also have 1 copy of Wash Energy to help our Empoleon V become immune to effects of attacks, and I also have 2 basic Water Energies. I also added a Gapejaw Bog Stadium in this build so that if either player puts a basic Pokemon from their hand to their bench, put 2 damage counters on them. This is going to help reduce the HP of our opponent's Pokemon. Our draw engine will be Snorlax with the Gourmandize ability, and Golbat as CROBAT's pre-evolution, which has the Discreet Draw ability. When you evolve into this Pokemon from your hand, you can draw 2 cards. For some of my notable supporters, I have Irida, which can help you find Empoleon V, and to also get 1 item card like Earthen Sealstone. I also have Pierce to find one of CROBAT's evolution line, and any 1 energy from the deck. And I have a copy of Raihan. This may help to accelerate an extra energy to one of our Pokemon who needs 3 energies, and then you can also get 1 extra card from your deck. This deck build is still a bit experimental and it's not going to win you every game, however I am pretty happy with the results so far. Do let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions on how to best use Reuniclus. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the deck list in the description below. Now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Reuniclus and CROBAT. Alright, let's get right into our first match. We're gonna go first, and I'm gonna put Solosis to go in the active spot for now. We got Zubat as well. We have Level Ball. We can probably get a Golbat, evolve that to draw 2 extra cards on our next turn. And we're going up against Hisuian Zoroark V-Star. Alright, I think this is a really good matchup for us because Hisuian Zoroark V-Star wants damage counters on their Pokemon, and that's gonna help us out a lot. I'm just gonna put Twin Energy on Zubat for now. That's gonna set us up for later because CROBAT requires 3 energies to attack. And my opponent is also using Gabe Drawbog Stadium, which will put 2 damage counters on any basic Pokemon that comes into play from either player's hand onto the bench. But what you really want to do is set up as much Reuniclus line on your bench, and then what you don't want to do either is put double turbo energy on the CROBAT line, because it will reduce your attack by 20. And if you think about it, 30 damage base for CROBAT's attack is not a lot, and if you reduce it down even further, you're only hitting for 10 damage, which is gonna make it a lot harder for you to knock out your opponent's Pokemon. So my opponent attacks with their Zoroark V, but thankfully our Solosis survives. It only has 40 HP, so that does make a big difference. I will get a Golbat with the level ball, draw 2 cards. We got our Devotion to evolve, our active. That's gonna make it survive this turn, hopefully. And then I'm just gonna Professor's Research. And we got an Escape Rope. Alright, so I don't have to discard my Twin Energy to retreat into Snorlax, which is really good. And that also pushes out their Zoroark V out of the active spot. And we got another Zubat to put into play. And I'm just gonna get another Solosis with our level ball. Set that up, and then I'm just gonna Gormandize for 3. Alright, so our setup is pretty nice so far. And as long as they don't put or get their Bidoof out of the active spot, we might even get a knockout. But they have Marnie. Dude, this could be actually a good opportunity to use our Empoleon V, use Earthen Sealstone to put damage counters until all of their V Pokemon has 100 HP. I might be able to showcase that in this matchup, but we'll see. Let's see. So they also have Gengar. We might be able to knock out their Gengar at some point as well. Damage bump to spread out their damage counters, and they're gonna get a knockout against our Snorlax. So now they get 1 prize for that. We can evolve into our Reuniclus, and then I'm gonna use Pierce to evolve into another Golbat. And then we can get 1 energy. So we have our Empoleon V. Let me get Capture Energy. Yeah, I think I'll just get these 2. But we have another Capture Energy, but that's okay. So let's evolve, draw 2 cards. We got another Solosis. But I think we need 2 spaces because we have Radiant Alakazam as well. And then I'm just going to get Empoleon V with this Capture Energy. It does require 3 energies though, that's the thing. So we will need another 2 turns to power it up. But at least it's already set up on our board, so we don't have to worry about it too much. And we can actually knock out their Bidoof, because we're going to be dealing 50 damage. It's going to have a total 50 damage. But for now, I'm just going to move damage counters onto their Zoroark V on their bench. Just going to put pressure on them. We can get 4 prizes for that once we knock it out. And then I'm just going to put damage counters here to their Bidoof and also their Zoroark V in their bench. So we're putting as much pressure as we can to our opponent's Pokemon. But they are going to boss. Dude, they bossed my Empoleon V. No. 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 Well, there goes our chances for dealing damage counters or reducing their V Pokemon's HP down to 100. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, pulling that off is a little bit difficult with this deck build, but it's there as an option. But we couldn't get away, and that seems to happen to me all the time. Once I put my Empoleon V, they just knock it out. But for now, I'm just gonna continue to put pressure on their Zoroark V in their bench, and We might have a little bit of a problem here if we don't get the evolution line for our other Pokemon. So I'm just gonna stall. Probably they won't be able to retreat their Zoroark V. So I'm just gonna boss it in the active spot. Put capture energy on my Golbat, which is now fully energized. All we need to do is evolve it into Crobat. And I'm just gonna use Sulfuric to add 60 damage to their Zoroark V in the active. And I'm gonna spread damage again to their Bidoof and their Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. So now they're using Escape Rope. I might need Snorlax to draw into more cards, so I can't have it get knocked out. So I'm just gonna switch into Solosis and sacrifice it for a little bit. Anyways, their other Pokemon is almost there. We can use Crobat. We just need to evolve into a Crobat. We can knock out their Bidoof, get 3 prizes for that, and then all we have to do is worry about the other Pokemon. So let me just put my Reuniclus in the active for now. Set up my Solosis on the bench, and then it'll require me 2 more turns to evolve into another Reuniclus, but it's a start. And Raihan is so difficult to use because we only have limited amount of basic energy in this deck. And maybe I could increase my basic energies actually, so I can use Raihan when I need it. That's why I only have 1 copy in this deck, but that's okay. That's alright. We're just gonna Painful Spoons, keep adding damage counter to their Gengar because they need 2 more prizes left. I need to retreat and then discard this basic energy so I can use Raihan and get my Crobat. That's gonna get us at least 3 prizes once we knock out their Bidoof. I think that's my only option here. That puts us closer to getting all the prizes, but this is very difficult. I don't think we're gonna win this one, but we're gonna try. We get 3 prizes for knocking out their Bidoof. Nice. We got a Boss's Order, a Evolution Incense, and a Scoop Up Net. Okay, we need 3 more prizes. I don't think we're gonna win this, guys. They're gonna get a knockout on our Crobat. We just put my Reuniclus in the active spot. Bro, I think they have this. I could just concede, I guess, but I do have a boss. I could trap one of their Zoroark in the active spot. We can continue to reduce damage or increase damage to their Gengar and probably one of their other 2 prizers. But yeah, we're we're in desperate mode, guys. They probably have a switch or a double turbo energy to get their Zoroark out of the active spot and just knock out the last Pokemon for the win. But I'm just gonna keep trying, guys. I will put an energy to Reuniclus. We can keep attacking, reduce down their Gengar, their Gengar's HP down. And also, I'm gonna continue to bring down this Hisuian Zoroark V-Star's HP as well. And if we can't knock out their active, we can probably knock out the one on the bench. But they are gonna evolve, so we have a lot more HP to work on in the active spot. But they put a water energy. Dude, did they whiff the energy? But if they have a switch, it doesn't really matter, right? So we still have a ways to go here. They will boss my Snorlax. And they're just gonna pass. Okay. Alright, we have another turn. We're still... They still have a lot of HP, guys. I don't know if we can pull this off. It'll take a miracle. And only if we can evolve into Crobat. We only have 2 in the deck though, and we don't have any more recovery items. So we don't have any more Crobat. So I'm just gonna use Alakazam to transfer damage to their Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. And scoop up my Snorlax and continue to attack with Reuniclus. And I'm gonna use Evolution Incense to get Duosion. And I'm gonna start powering up my Snorlax. Maybe we can paralyze and win that way, right? Again, I'm in desperate mode, guys. I'm just gonna use Sulfuric, continue to put damage on their Gengar. Get a knockout for that. We get one prize. Very nice. We got Irida. And all we need is 2 more prizes to win this game. But, yeah, my opponent probably has a switch here. That one only needs 40 more HP so we can get a knockout. And, yeah, that's all we need to do is attack one more time. Transfer damage to their Zoroark V-Star. Dude! Team with the energy! Unbelievable! Let's go. Bro, it took a miracle to win this one, but we did it, guys. We did it. Yes! Good game. Alright, let's get right into our next match. We are going first. And as always, I do like going first with this build. Just because we have a lot of Pokemon that we need to evolve. And we're going to have to mulligan. We don't have any basic Pokemon in our hand. Alright, cool. We have a lot of basic to start. We have Snorlax, which I will put in the active spot. We also have Empoleon V, Zubat, and also Radiant Alakazam. So this is a nice set of basic Pokemon that we have set up. And can't really do much, so I'm just going to Gormandize this turn, draw for 3. And we got a Solosis to start for our next turn, and also Gape Jawbog Stadium. So whatever Pokemon my opponent puts on their bench here on out, that's going to put 2 damage counters. But of course it also affects us, but that's okay. But being able to set up our Empoleon is pretty good. We are going up against a Dragonite V-Star deck list, so we might be able to use the Earthen Seal Stone after all. Let me just use Level Ball, get a Golbat. Draw 2 cards after evolving into Golbat. And then we can use our Quick Ball to get another basic Pokemon from our deck. I could get another Solosis, which is pretty important, I think. Because you do want to set up as much as 2 or 3, really. And then I'm going to put Gape Jawbog Stadium. Then I think I can play Judge here, which will also reshuffle my opponent's hand. They do have a lot of cards in their hand, so leaving it to 4 is actually good. And we got the Earthen Seal Stone, which is really good. I'll put the Capture Energy on Empoleon, attach this to, and then just Gormandize this turn. So we just need a double Turbo Energy to energize our Empoleon V, and then we can deal that V-Star power attack, reducing all of our opponent's Pokemon V's HP down to 100. But they have Lost City, so each time they knock out our Pokemon, it's going to go into the Lost Zone. So that's very dangerous. We don't want that. So we can evolve into a Duosion, attach 1 energy to this Crobat and evolve it. And I'm just going to Gormandize one more time. At least my opponent hasn't been able to set up as fast. And I think that Judge may have helped us a little bit to disrupt our opponent's hand. But they will get a knockout, and our Snorlax goes into the Lost Zone. That's really bad. So I'm just going to pivot into Crobat. Since it has free retreats anyways, we can just retreat it back. And then I'm going to put Water Energy to my Empoleon V. And then just pivot into Snorlax again. Discard Crobat. And I just want to thin out my hand so I can Gormandize for 4. So we got better support cards this turn. And what I want to do, I can attack with Empoleon V, deal 130, but my opponent can just knock it out, especially if they can set up their Dragonite VSTAR. But yeah, they're using the Lost Zone mechanic to accelerate a lot of energies to their Dragonite VSTAR, but I am surprised that my opponent has not set up any more Pokemon on their bench. But they will evolve into a Dragonite VSTAR, alright. So it's dealing a lot of damage already. But I don't know how useful its VSTAR attack will be, because they need to energize their Pokemon. But not that much really. So both of our Snorlax are now in the Lost Zone, which is really bad. So I'll just promote this Duosion. We can attack with it. And then what I'm gonna do, we don't have Reuniclus right now, which is really bad, because if they knock it out, that Duosion line will go into the Lost Zone. So maybe they won't be able to attack with Suicune, but we're just gonna attack, deal 20 damage to their active, and then 2 damage counter to their bench. If they have a Melanie here, they can attack with Suicune V, or they can retreat. If they have Serena, they can either switch our Empoleon V or draw cards, which they just draw cards. Alright, so our Empoleon V is pretty safe right now. So it's still pretty useful. If my opponent puts more V Pokemon on their board, that's going to be a lot better. Okay, so they put one more Dragonite V on their bench. And what I'm going to do is just use Irida, get Mana Feed to thin out my deck, and also get Evolution Incense. Then I can finally get Reuniclus, and we can start attacking. And then let's see, I'll just energize Solosis, I think. And then I'm just gonna attack. I don't think it's practical to move any damage counters right now. So 60 damage to their Suicune V in the active, and then 3 damage counters to 2 of their Dragonite V. They switch out their Lost City Stadium with Crystal Cave Stadium, and they're healing their Dragonite, which is really bad, because now we won't be able to stack damage counters on them. The only Pokemon that we can stack damage onto is Suicune V, really. And I would say that's probably the weakness of Reuniclus. Unless you're using it as your backup attacker or a finisher or something like that. As a standalone, I think that's the greatest weakness, is if your opponent heals a lot. So either really huge defensive deck builds or healers. That's gonna be the worst. So I'm just gonna boss this Dragonite V, because it's gonna be a lot harder for them to retreat with it. Then I'm just gonna transfer. I mean, it doesn't really matter really, because once we use our Earthen Sealstone, it's just gonna reduce all of their HP down to 100. So I'm gonna take advantage of this now, because I was waiting for them to evolve into a Dragonite V-Star, but since they haven't done that yet, I might as well just add the damage counters. And at least that sets up their Suicune V and also their Luminion V. So now we have a bunch of target, and the ones that they're healing are just the Dragon type Pokemon. So our main targets will be Suicune V and also Luminion V. But they need 3 more prizes to go, which is really bad. There's the Dragonite V-Star evolution, and once they evolve their active, that's gonna put more HP onto it, making a lot harder for us to knock it out. So our CROBAT is still good to go, but we need to reduce their Pokemon V's HP down even further. And can evolve into Reuniclus here. And let's see, I can attack with Empoleon because we do have water energy. I'll just attach a twin energy to CROBAT, and then I'm just gonna Professor's Research. Okay, we have another Solosis. Yeah, I think I'll put that into play for now. And then yeah, I'm just gonna retreat into my Reuniclus. And then I'm just gonna Self-Fork. 60 damage to their active. And then I'm gonna continue to put damage counters on both of their water type Pokemon, because that one cannot heal. But if we can just put it to knockout range, we can get 4 prizes once we knock out maybe their Suicune V with our CROBAT. But they will boss my Empoleon V. If they knock it out though, they're gonna get 2 prizes. Blizzard Rondo, and they don't knock it out, dude. That would have made a big difference actually. If they got 2 prizes, they'll only need 1 more to win the game. But our Empoleon V survives. That is insane. Bro, we live to fight another day. Let's go. So I'm just gonna use Escape Rope here. This is a tactical retreat. Hopefully our Empoleon V survives. And then we're gonna continue to attack with Reuniclus so that we can continue to weaken their other Pokemon. I'm just gonna transfer 1 damage counter. We can knock out this Manaphy with our Reuniclus while adding damage counters to their other Pokemon. I'm just gonna get Twin Energy and Golbat with my Pierce for the meantime. And I'm gonna replace Solosis with Zubat, and I'm just gonna Self-Fork for knockout against their Manaphy, and then again dealing 3 damage counters to both of their Lumineon V and also their Suicune V. So we're almost there, guys. We need Suicune V only has 40 HP left, and then Lumineon is within knockout range. We can knock it out with our CROBAT and get 4 prizes for that, and that will leave us with 1 prize left. And with Suicune V, with that much HP, we can easily knock it out on our last turn, hopefully on our last turn. So this matchup is a little interesting because they have Dragonite VSTAR, but they haven't been attacking with it. You know, Dragonite VSTAR is actually it's a Gen 1 Pokemon. It's one of my favorite Pokemon in the Gen 1 series, but this VSTAR is just, it's a little lackluster in my opinion. Let's evolve into a Golbat and see if we can set up more Reuniclus line. It's Ordinary Rod, these 2 Pokemon, and then okay, nothing else to find with the level ball. Can replace their stadium with ours, that way they can stop healing. But I can move damage counters first to Lumineon. Okay, so now we can knock it out, right? And then yeah, go from there. So knock out their Lumineon, we get 4 prizes for that. Very nice. Got Escape Rope. Another Reuniclus. Duosion. Double Turbo Energy. Alright, so we're looking good, guys. We need one more prize. Suicune V is within knockout range. They'll knock out my CROBAT. But with Suicune V only having 40 HP, we can just move some damage counter with our Radiant Alakazam and then finish off their Pokemon with Reuniclus. But if they have a boss, which they don't, and they're gonna Roxanne, oh no. They have Roxanne. But well, we have a CROBAT, guys. We have a CROBAT. We also have Raihan. Roxanne is a lie. And that's gonna win us the game because they already used Roxanne. If they had a boss, all they needed to do was boss our Empoleon V to win the game. But they didn't have it, so we will win this one. All they have to do is knock out our CROBAT. That will put basic energy card on our discard pile, allowing us to use Raihan. And then, yeah, all we have to do is find a Reuniclus. Ask and you shall receive. Let's go. So I'm just gonna get... What can I get here? We need another energy, right? So I'll just get the twin energy. We already win this game anyway, so we're just gonna evolve into Reuniclus. Put the twin energy. Painful Spoons. Let's just put 2 damage counters on their Suicune V to guarantee a win. And then all we have to do is self-fork. And then put the damage counter on their Suicune V for the last knockout of this match for the win. Man, good game, good game. Alright, let's move on to our third and last match. Again, we're going first in this matchup. And I'm going to put Empoleon in the active spot. We also have Solosis to put on the bench. And we have Water Energy, Twin Energy. Let's put Water Energy on Empoleon V first. And I can discard this Water Energy. Let's see, I can get a Zubat. I mean, Snorlax would be good too. Let me just get Zubat for now. And then I'm just gonna pass. I should have probably gotten Snorlax, but it's okay. Well, like I said, this deck is a little experimental still, so still a little clunky. So we're going up against a Mew VMAX deck, guys. But thankfully they did Marnie. That actually helped us to get better cards in our hand. And a level ball from the top deck. Man, this is crazy. Now we can get a Golbat. That's going to help us draw 2 extra cards this turn. We have our second Solosis. And we got a Snorlax, dude. Then we can also evolve into our Duosion. We have Twin Energy. I'll just put it on my Golbat. Just gonna pass. So hopefully they can't retreat. I mean, they only have 3 Pokemon in play, so okay, they can draw 2 cards. Bro, they had everything. They can just knock out my Empoleon V. This is crazy. Now I won't be able to use... I mean, I have Ordinary Rod. I could probably just recover Empoleon V. No! No! They have Lost City. Oh no! And that's gonna put our Empoleon V in the Lost Zone. We can never recover it now. It always happens. They had everything they needed to knock out our Empoleon V. That's not fair, guys. Not fair at all. Just gonna evolve into Crobat, Gormandize. Not much else I could do. Man. Come on. I was hoping I could use the Earthen Seal Stone, because they're going to be using a lot of Mew VMAX and then a bunch of Genesect V. Can you imagine spreading all of those damage counters to reduce all of their V Pokemon down to 100 HP? That would have been insane. But of course, Mew VMAX is a top tier deck. They had everything they need on their first turn, which is very, very unfair. I mean, I guess it is fair. But an S tier deck against a very low tier experimental deck, it doesn't seem very fair. But I can actually attack with CROBAT. Now I'm starting to wish I had Dark type energy in this build. But that's for another story, I guess. Let me just get another Pokemon with this Quick Ball. Get another Solosis to set up. Use Professor's Research. Then we can use our Reuniclus. And because CROBAT has free retreats, we can just... And then let me set up another Zubat, because we'll be hitting for weakness. I mean, Golbat can attack for 2 colorless energy, and I'm just gonna attack their Genesect V and then put 3 damage counters on... I think I'm gonna put 3 damage counter on their Oricorio and also their Genesect V. So Genesect V can dish out 4 prizes if we knock one out with CROBAT, and then 3 prizes for their Oricorio. They're also playing the Scorpion Pokemon, but we don't have any V Pokemon, so it's not really gonna help them to attack for free. But look at all those V Pokemon, man. That Earthen Sealstone would have been awesome, but nope. They had to knock out my Empoleon V and put it on the Lost Zone. Got another Reuniclus. So we have a full set now. Having 3 of them, you'll always have Reuniclus to attack, guys. This is like the perfect setup for Reuniclus. So if they knock one out, all of your Reuniclus line cards will go back to your hand, and you can just continue to evolve the Reuniclus line. Just gonna grab Scoop Up Net with Irida, and we're just gonna continue to attack their Genesect V and continue to spread damage to both of these Pokemon here. Now we're only dealing 40 damage because of Oricorio's ability reducing damage by 20, which is really bad. And now that I think about it, CROBAT's attack will actually be only 10 damage, which is gonna be a lot harder for us to knock out even their Oricorio. But they can't get their Genesect V out of the active spot, so I am okay with that. Let me scoop up Manaphy and then replace it with Radiant Alakazam. And what we're gonna do here is use Painful Spoons to transfer damage counter to this guy, because this one has a lot more damage on it already. And we're just gonna get a cheeky knockout off of this Oricorio. Oh, dude, I forgot about the damage reduction. What? I just mentioned it too. Oh boy. Oricorio always gets me. I've been playing against the Mew VMAX build for so long, but Oricorio always gets me. Dude, did they just misclick? They just... I think my opponent just misclicked. Because they were... I don't know. They could have used another attack, but they used Oricorio's attack to spread damage. Not sure why they did that, but okay. We're gonna Painful Spoons to Oricorio. And we're gonna guarantee a knockout here, guys. Yeah, so with 10 HP left, all we have to do is retreat Reuniclus. I'll just sacrifice this double turbo energy, evolve into another CROBAT, and then we can get a knockout for 3 prizes. So we need that 3 prizes this turn for sure. And that also puts their Oricorio to their lost zone. So now they cannot reduce damage at all. So we need to avenge our Empoleon V, guys. We need to avenge it. But their setup is so strong, guys. It's so hard to win against a Mew VMAX build. And they just need to... What? They're only dealing 80 damage. What are they doing? What are they doing? Bro, okay. Well, we're gonna take advantage of that. If you are not gonna knock out my CROBATs, that's fine with me. So what I'm gonna do is continue to move damage, right, to this Genesect V, energize my Reuniclus, free retreat, and then we're gonna continue to attack. We can attack for 60 against their Mew VMAX and then continue to spread damage. Just gonna use Judge for now. Not that it's gonna help any against my opponent's hand because they could just draw a lot of cards with their Genesect V. But we got a Duosion from that. So we're just dealing 60 damage to their Mew VMAX. And I'm just gonna spread damage to both of these Genesect V. We're almost there, guys. They still need 3 prizes to go. My opponent's been making bad decisions in my opinion, okay? Nothing against my opponent, but they could have knocked out my CROBAT. I think they misclicked that one time. But that's okay. They're going to use Boss's Order. They're finally going to get a knockout against our CROBAT, which is going to make it a little bit complicated because now that's going to go in the Lost Zone. Gotta be careful here. I'm just gonna pivot into CROBAT. We can free retreat. We have Boss's Order. Maybe we can trap their Genesect V in the active again. And then all we have to do is energize our CROBAT and get the final prizes here. We need 40. But we need to energize our CROBAT. That's the thing. So we need at least 2 more turns before we can get a knockout. So I'm just gonna boss my their Genesect, retreat into Reuniclus, and start energizing my CROBAT. I'm gonna move damage counters to... Oh wait, oh dude. So their energy actually prevents abilities, so I forgot about that. So I couldn't move the damage counters. So the Fusion Strike energy prevents abilities. So I was trying to move it from you, but it didn't work because they're protected from effects of abilities. I always forget about that, but that's okay. I think we can still get it in our next turn. We should be okay. They can knock out our Reuniclus. That's fine. And they're using Selene, so they're not gonna boss our CROBAT. That's as long as our CROBAT survives, we should be able to win this game. We should be able to win this game. Cramomatic. So they can't boss our CROBAT anymore. I think we got this. We're almost there, guys. They are gonna switch into Mew VMAX. But their Pokemon aren't safe because we're dealing damage counters and they don't have anything to protect their bench from our CROBAT. So they're gonna knock out our Reuniclus. Wait, what is this? Put this card. Yeah, let's put it back to our hand. Dude, it is immune to Lost City. Bro, that's awesome. I mean, if it's damaged by an attack, it's safe. So now all we have to do is, yeah, get a knockout here. Knockout for 4 prizes. For the win. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.